Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Ready? 10 logo.
Mike 47. You're trapped.
Deep grip.
There's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on third and inches.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. 4 down.
They will run for the first time here with White. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early. Because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up first and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Flushed out right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. Throwing again. Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
43 is the mark. Hey, pick your game up.
To throw on third down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Santos' kick is up and through. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a man open down the middle of the field. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right? There's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Fields. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furious of going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
White's numbers from a week ago. 13 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And he scored his first touchdown of the year in last week's game, so now he's hoping that that helps establish a rhythm, and maybe now he can score a few in bunches, starting with this one.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Second and 6. And this is caught by Watkins. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Off the play fake. Graves. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Graves. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
And when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Operating from the gun. Graves. Open man, he's got him. The tight end, Hawkinson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Everyone got four down.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, the second down throw on target. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that'll be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Let's go, D.
To throw on third down. Fields. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way that pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught. It's Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. They start the drive with White. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Back to throw. Graves looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. From the gun, Graves. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Lions have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Fields. Buying time to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again, Fields. His throw incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. This quarterback now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. On 4th down, Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons have retaken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So we've come upon halftime here in week. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Route 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Come get some.
On first down, Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3.
Let's put that team on the hunt. 43 is the mark. 43 is the mark.
2nd and 3. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
Come on, baby.
It's a gain of 35. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's their quarterback with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, they'll run with White. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready?
From the gun, Graves looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went in the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, run back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Again, it's Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Graves. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken around the 12. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. 2nd and 14. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Fields. And this is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, it's Smith. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
You got it. You got it.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. And again this time to the tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
somewhere else,
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the ball is knocked out, and the Falcons grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
43 is the mark.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fields. Escape, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And Detroit getting set to go now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Looking to throw. Graves. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a...
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on a fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Tavecchio to add the PAT. And the lead is down to 20. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But Yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a handoff working right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That's it, baby.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Graves. He'll get this one to Galladay. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
It's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And this one complete to Reed. 7 yards there and a first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Back to throw. Graves. The man has got it complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there on 20 yards. Looking to throw. Graves. And he will find his man on the outside. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd down and inches. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup. First down. Back to throw. Graves. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley able to record his 5th sack of the season. Looking to throw. Graves caught here by Bell. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Graves. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
Watch your slack, watch your slack.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.